Sam with a skillet. What a way to start an episode. Hey guys, what's up? It's Awesome Sam McCoy, and I'm really incredibly hungry. I also want to make a video telling you a really crazy story that happened to me last week. But I also want to make another cooking time video. So I figured, why not mix both into the same video? So that's what I'm going to do. I don't feel like making a traditional dinner, really. I'm going to make one of my favorite things to eat for dinner time, night breakfast. So I'm going to make scrambled eggs, bacon, and peanut butter toast. Let's do this. Okay, so while the butter's melting for my eggs, the story I'm going to tell you guys is the fact that sometimes indoor pools suck. Now when I say that, I don't mean like actual indoor pools and like a fancy hotel or something. That's awesome. I'm talking about when indoor pools spontaneously happen. Because at my workplace last week, I was called in. Jeez, no! I never measure my food as much as I should, and it should be more of a problem than it is. So yeah, I get to work, I walk in, and I sign up. Beat those eggs, man! Beat them into submission! I sign in on a little time punch cardy thingy-mabob. And I start hearing this weird noise, almost immediately, like 2 minutes after I get there. We're gonna put our bacon on the pan first because it's gonna take the longest time to cook. Come on. There you are, buddy. Don't worry, I'm just gonna eat you. This milk carton's almost empty. The sizzling noise that I heard actually sounded a lot like this bacon right now. It's really weird. It just sounded like some kind of hissing like this. For a bit, I thought it might have been like some oil that got overheated from one of the machines that we used to cook with. But then I hear my manager. She goes, "Oh God!" I start looking around because I don't know what's going on. Get in there, my little delicious slabs of grain. So I'm looking around. I don't know what's going on. I gotta flip some of this bacon because it's starting to get a little crispy and fry. So I'm not really sure what's going on until I look at the door. One of the doors into this building has one of the ceiling tiles. Okay, so our ceiling has tiles, right? It's just these little tiny square blocks, right? One of them is popped out in the ceiling and there's water gushing out of it. There's water gushing out of the ceiling, and then more ceiling tiles pop out. They're busting out. It looks like a scene in a movie. It looks like that scene out of James Cameron's Aliens, where they're all coming through the ceiling and more tiles are getting busted out. So then the fire alarms go off. The lights go dark in the building. I'm running around, rushing people out, saying, "There's not a fire, but get out of here!" And there was this one lady there was one lady at the cash register who was buying something from me. She wouldn't let me go. She clearly saw that there was a waterfall covering the door. You couldn't walk through this door without getting drenched. It was like a water park. And I was put on shovel duty. If you're wondering what I mean by shovel duty, they literally got an old snow shovel out of the back closet for me, and they had me run it through the growing lake that was becoming the main lobby of my workplace, and push the water out the door. I was essentially trying to push back the tide with a bulldozer. So while this is going on, the fire department shows up. And they figure out how to shut off the water. There's still the problem that half of the main lobby is underwater. And this is like an active flowing streams, like going out the door, going deeper into the building, going all over the place. Goes into the arcade room. Yeah, we have an arcade in my workplace. It's awesome when you're on break. Oh, this bacon is so done, I can't even say. There we go, the bacon is now done, which means we can do this with the pan. It's going to be super crazy awesome face. You ready for this? I am a waterbender. What's up? Oh, my children. Back to the story. I was put outside the front doors while the fire department was roping up the front door of our building with that yellow and black do not cross tape. While I was out there, I had two jobs. One was to inform people who were still walking up to the building, even though they saw the yellow and black "Do Not Cross" tape. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I was actually amazed at how many people kept walking up to the front door even after they saw this, but I digress. My second job was to clean the ceiling tiles that were by now these soggy, moldy chunks of gray stuff that looked like an Oreo if you dropped it in the cup and left it there. Oh hey, toast is good. Peanut butter toast time. So I spent the better part of an hour just kind of like shoveling up all these chunks and throwing them into a garbage can. But I was also standing outside for the better part of an hour, freezing, because I had been drenched in water from the ceiling, trying to get the buckets underneath it, and trying to usher people around it. And now I was standing out in the middle of the Ohio winter cold, freezing my feet off. After all that good stuff was taken care of and the ceiling was actually cleaned up off the floor, it was about the time that my shift would have normally ended. And we brought in an industrial-sized vacuum around the time that I was leaving to soak up the carpet. What do you guys think? What do you think? Can you smell him? Can you smell him? Here we have Protein Man. He has 2 peanut butter toast eyes, a mustache made of strips of bacon, and a beard made of scrambled eggs. A protein-filled amazingness. So everything was getting cleaned up pretty nicely by the time I left, and they sent me home. I went to work just this weekend, and it was all perfect. You wouldn't even notice that we had an indoor pool as our workplace. So what did I learn from all this? I learned that it's really hard to divide your attention amongst cooking, filming, and telling a story at the same time. Oh, but I did a good job. So if you guys want to try and make this, if you could in any way follow what I was doing while I was telling a story and not very well conveying these steps in cooking, feel free to make it. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. See you later.